Pocket sevens on the button. How about a little raise?
Oh my goodness. Danger, Will Robertson. Danger.
Let's see how this one's played out now. And here's the flop. Oh, there's a 7.
Oh, Antonius does have a flush draw.
Any spade or any 8 would do it for Antonius. He's a 2-to-1 dog.
21.
Counted out 21,000 chips.
Looks like he's leaning towards a call.
Cool.
The turn is a 10 of diamonds.
Interesting.
Oh, it's very interesting here. Antonius now is open-ended.
I call.
Patrick Antonius is all in. Mooley calls. Patrick Antonius can catch a 6, a jack, a spade, or a 7, or an 8. To the river. It's the queen of diamonds.
Oh.
Patrick
Just
Antonius
like that.
does not get lucky. Mooley wins a monster pot. Now has over $250,000 in front of him.
283.
Oh, this could be huge for Mike Matisow.
Check.
Mike Matisow's got the overpair. Cyril Mooley with top pair. And the way these guys have been playing, it wouldn't surprise me at all if all the chips went in. Let's see. And Mooley looks like he's going to raise.
20,000 more.
I'm all in.
All in.
And Matisow's all in! Look at this. Mooley has check raised it up 20,000 more. And Matisow says, I don't think so. Let's stick it in.
This might have been the hand that Mike Matisow was dreaming about.
I call.
And he calls!
And he calls. Wow.
Mooley
What a pot.
calls this. Matisow way ahead.
10's a winning.
Mooley needs an 8 or a king.
For 200 G's.
Here's a turn. It's the ace. River. It's a 6. A 6 of diamonds. Matisow survives
That's the power of positive thinking.
and wins a $205,000 pot.
4 ace ace.
Oh, wow. This is a big flop. Andrew Feldman has trip aces.
Check. Check.
Mooley's got the nut flush draw. Cunningham has the straight flush draw. Let's see the turn. It's a 9, and Andrew Feldman has filled up. He has aces and 9s. Mooley cannot win the pot. Cunningham can win it
Check.
with 1 card and 1 card only. Andrew Feldman with the absolute nuts.
14-5.
He bets about 70%.
That's
Oh, and he gets rid of 1 flush draw.
I'll go on.
Cool.
You have full house?
Yeah.
Alan
5 of
Cunningham
spades.
all in. Andrew Feldman calls. And here's the river. Oh, it's the 10 of clubs. Alan Cunningham. He started this pot with $56,400. And it's all in front of Andrew Feldman right now.
Hello and welcome to the FullTiltPoker.net $1 million cash game from here in the heart of London. The chips have been flying around the table so far, and we can guarantee there's plenty more of that in this show as well, as we hand you straight up to your commentators with the action about to get underway.
Hello and welcome to the FullTiltPoker.net $1 million cash game. We're in the heart of London, and some of the best and biggest names in poker have come together to put their money where their mouth is. I'm David Tuckman alongside Robert Williamson III.
Raised to 2,800.
Mooley with the suited jack.
And also in position on everybody. Now that Alan Cunningham folded his button.
Pass.
Yeah, his normal big raise. Over to the big blind.
Well, he might not want to look at this one too hard. I think we'll see a slow play of this.
How much you play? 2.
That's exactly what you do see. Patrick Antonius slow plays it. Let's see what the flop brings. Antonius with the bullets.
Flop is 2, 5, 4.
No.
And Mooley catches a piece of this flop, which could cost him some money.
Yeah, Mooley with second pair. He's also got backdoor clubs. Patrick Antonius has the ace of diamonds, a couple of diamonds out there.
Bet 5,000.
And Antonius bets 5,000.
I don't mind that lead at all. Give Mooley a chance to raise him.
I'm pretty sure Mooley's not going to go anywhere.
Now, I think we're going to see at least a call from Mooley.
You like the lead into Mooley.
I do, because I'm giving him a chance to play a big pot. And even if he's got the best hand, I've got a straight draw. I've got top pair. Speaking of straight draw, well, of course, that's going to...
Yeah, it's not a
Actually,
really good
could
card
hurt.
for Antonius, is it? Because that's going to give him the wheel. Now, he's definitely going to win this hand.
Check. Check.
But at the same time, you start looking at it, and Mooley can't lose any more money on this pot, can he?
Well, Antonius did what he's supposed to do. He checks. Now it's up to Mooley. Mooley could try to represent the ace here. And Willie still could win half this pot if a 6 or an ace comes on the river. But that's all he can ever get of this.
Bet 13,000.
And 13,000 bet by Mooley. You know, the only thing is, I don't think that Patrick Antonius can raise. I think he can just flat call, because if he raises and gets called, what can he beat? I think he's forced to just flat call here.
Pot is 29,500. Well, add 13,000 to that. It's now 42,500. And we're going to see a river. 6 or an ace chops it up.
Check.
Oh, actually, that gives Mooley 2 pair.
Check.
Check.
2 pair.
Straight.
Well, he goes check, check. Actually, the 2 pair on the river actually forced Mooley to slow down. He didn't need to bet. He had showdown value,
It
right?
probably cost Patrick Antonius a bluff by Mooley on the river.
80K.
It definitely gave away the opportunity, because now he can show down 2 pair.
Patrick Antonius adds to his lead, now up over $234,000.
And once again, Mooley falls victim to Patrick Antonius.
To get started, one player is made the nominated dealer or button. Then the 2 players to the left post the small and big blinds. These are force bets to get the action started. The big blind is always double the small, but unlike a tournament, the blinds rarely change. However, they are sometimes increased to spice up the action. We start here with $300 and $600. There's also an ante of $100 per player, which must be paid if they want to play in a hand. Once the blinds and antes are posted, everyone is dealt 2 cards. We have a round of betting. Then 3 cards are placed face up on the table, called the flop. These are the community cards for all the players to use. Then we have another round of betting, after which the 4th card, the turn, is placed in the middle. This is followed by some more betting and the last community card, the river. Then we finish off with a final round of betting. The best 5-card hand takes the money.
Buttons in front of the chip leader and the big winner, Patrick Antonius. Patrick Antonius, by the way, nearly $3 million in tournament winnings. But he's not really a tournament player, is he?
That's what I was fixing to say. He is a cash game specialist. This game is right up his alley. You know, for somebody that doesn't play many tournaments, $3 million is a lot of tournament winnings.
What is Patrick Antonius' best game?
Pot limit Omaha, and I can tell you, cash-wise, he is definitely one of the top 3 in the world. I'll take his action anytime, as long as I got his side of it.
Pass.
Well, a raise from Mattisau.
Cool.
And a call from Mooley. Heads up, Mooley, Mattisau.
Say that quick 12 times, see what
Flop is
happens.
5, 3.
I don't want to say it quick twice. 8-5-3, a couple of clubs out there. Mike Mattisau has flopped a flush draw. He also has overcards to the board. Mooley with the best of it right now. Hard for him to know that, though. But who cares? He's going to bet it anyway.
9,000.
And he bets $9,000 into a $5,100 pot. How does Mattisau play this hand?
Well, it's a tough spot for Mike. I know this much. I would flat call. I don't think I'd re-raise Mooley.
Cool.
And he does call.
I like that so far.
Turn is the king of diamonds. Now, I was going to say, on the flop, Mattisau is actually a favorite to win the pot, although he was behind. Now, though, he is an underdog. He's about a 2-to-1 dog.
This feels like the perfect chance for Mike Mattisau to take the pot away from Mooley, though. He's checked the turn, showing weakness. I might have to lead at this, knowing I at least should have some outs with the club draw.
I mean, that's part of the reason why you call the flop, right?
Well, it's called a semi-bluff. Mike doesn't take advantage of the semi-bluff.
And the river?
Ace.
And the river's the ace of
Oh.
clubs. Wow. Well,
That's-
you take the card. If there's a card you could pick out there, that would be it. Mattisau hits the flush. Mooley, top pair. Pot is 23,100.
25,000.
And I like the overbet by Mike Mattisau.
And from what I've seen of Mattisau, This is never a bluff, is it?
Very rarely. Mike does bluff and get out there on some limbs, but normally speaking, in this point of the hand here at the river, that's not his best game.
I mean, in this game, especially the high-stakes, no-limit cash game, he's not bluffing here.
Most of the time, no.
I don't know if Mooley knows that, though.
That's the key.
$25,000 bet. Pot is now 48,100. Action is on Mooley. He has top pair, but 3 clubs out there. Start thinking, what can I beat? I mean, would Matusow bet a hand worse than I have?
The overbet gives him a chance to get called here, and that's why I like that play by Mike Matusow. He feigns weakness.
Well, the Frenchman paid Matusow off before. Let's see if the Frenchman can get away with this one.
Mike
Get away from this one, I should say.
Mike could easily have a bigger ace here. I think that's going through Mooley's mind.
I don't know if Matusow. I mean, would Matusow bet ace-queen here? Ace-jack here? And maybe, obviously, top 2 he's going to bet, but...
I think he'd bet ace-queen here, a value bet. Yes, I do.
Okay. I remember earlier on when he had king-queen, and he didn't bet the king. So, I mean, I'm just wondering how thinly he'll value bet.
That was second pair, though. Top pair, I think Mike would bet.
Plus.
And Mooley smelt it, sniffed it right out. Nice lay down by Mooley. Well played by Mike Matusow as well.
Mike,
My most memorable moment definitely was winning the 2002 Omaha 8-Bear Championship against Daniel. I was really going through some mental problems, and I was down 5-1 in chips, and he was talking a lot of trash, and I came back and played amazing and came back and won. And I've had a lot of low moments, you know, in poker. You know, I've had the 2005 main event, you know, where I just was almost a shoo-in to win that tournament. Losing the 2001 final table at the World Series Poker. I mean, I knew Carlos was bluffing the big hand he put on me, and I didn't follow through. But those are part of poker, and I've never had a bigger feel of emotion than when I won that Omaha tournament. So that's still my highlight of my poker life.
Tom Dwan
Cool.
is back. Tom Dwan, by the way, our big loser today. Taking a little bit of a break. But he knows how to play this one. He's going to raise it up.
He looks a lot fresher now.
Dwan's raised it up with a Jack-9 offsuit. We saw Mooley's King-Jack. This is Patrick Antonius' hand. And here's the flop.
Flop comes queen, 4, king.
Well, king, queen, 4, a little bit something there for everybody.
Check.
Tom Dwan, the pre-flop raiser, has got a gut shot. Mooley with top pair, Antonius with bottom pair. And Antonius is going to bet.
Bet 4,500.
Well, he's in position.
Not a bad bet a majority of the time.
And part of the reason why you call in position is so you can take it away when your opponents miss, right?
That's exactly right. Patrick Antonius has been a master at that tonight. He's really played position well.
Well, he bets 4,500.
Okay.
And Mooley has decided to call this.
And Tom Dwan taking his time deciding whether to call, raise, or fold. I think this has got to be a folding hand.
After watching Tom Dwan in Season 3 of the $1 Million Cash Game and most of Season 4, I've stopped trying to guess what he'll do.
And if he smells a weakness, sometimes
Raise.
he does the uncharacteristic thing, and that's raising right here.
Oh, that's
wow.
exactly what he does.
18,800 total.
He's sure playing fearless poker.
Mooley has underrepresented his hand here. Normally, he plays top pair a lot stronger. I don't know if he's going anywhere. Dwan has raised this up to $18,800. How much?
14,000.
Tom Dwan wasting no time getting back in the action.
Sure isn't. Putting
Yep.
Mooley to a tough decision. And Mooley's out of position here as well.
I mean, Mooley with top pair, but, I mean, top pair in a no-limit game.
You know, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if Mooley, well, he flat calls. I wouldn't have been surprised if Mooley re-raised right there.
Both players started with virtually the same amount of chips. Mooley started with 155,000 chips. Well, dollars, I should say. Tom Dwan with $161,000.
Check.
Tom Dwan barely has him covered. 6 of diamonds.
It's a pretty safe card for Mooley's hand, if he had the best hand to begin with.
They're fairly irrelevant. I mean, King Jack really just a bluff catcher, though. You can't really beat much. I mean, I guess you can beat Jack 10 if he's in there with a draw.
I think Mooley actually thinks he has the best hand right now, and he's letting Dwan hang himself. I only say that because Mooley's had a tendency to overbet pots and lead at him.
He's definitely played this hand
Check.
a little bit slower. Well, Dwan is going to take the free card. It goes check, check on the turn.
Oh!
Wow, look at that. Nothing has gone Tom
Payoff
Dwan's
card.
way. Nothing has gone Tom Dwan's way. And just like that, look at his eyes have lit up.
Check.
He hits the straight. He doesn't have the nut straight. Ace-Jack is the nuts right now.
Well,
But he's got the second nuts.
I was going to say, he may not have the nuts straight, but he's got the second nuts on the entire board. I think we'll see about a $25,000 or $30,000 bet just because he wants to get paid off.
Well, we'll see. Mooley has checked. Action on Tom Dwan.
I like Tom Dwan taking his time here, making it look like he might be considering a bluff.
Tom Dwan with the king high straight. He makes the move and he gets lucky on the river. Mooley with top pair. Pot just under $50,000.
Maybe a big bet by Tom Dwan would look suspicious here. Maybe that's what he's considering, whether he should make a really like an over bet, a la Mooley style.
All in.
All in.
Tom Dwan is all in.
Oh,
Well, you said an overbet, and here it is. It's an overbet. It's a huge overbet. Tom Dwan is all in. He started this hand with more chips than Mooley. It would be for all of Mooley's chips. Mooley, by the way, started with 155,000. If Mooley calls, it's a 310,000 chip pot. Well, $310,000 pot, I should say. Unbelievable turn of events.
all your chips, Mooley.
I call.
Call.
Oh, he calls!
Mooley calls! It's unbelievable!
I had 2 per 2.
Unbelievable. The overbet by Tom Dwan confused the Frenchman. And Mooley
How much?
gonna pay off the tune of 134,000. He is felted. And remember, just a little while ago, Mooley won that monster pot off Antonius. He was up to 288,000. He had nearly $300,000 in front of him. Now, he's got nothing.
Nothing but green felt in front of him.
Well, the roller coaster leaderboard continues. Patrick Antonius on top of it. He's up 227,000. Mooley, by the way, who was our leader before, he was up $200,000, is now down 100,000. But our big loser, Alan Cunningham, down $193,000.
And the coffee. Yeah, I'm gonna have all of it.
Pass.
Feldman not going to play. Mooley has rebought for another $100,000.
3,400.
He's going to raise this up. Oh, he's raising it up even more now. Raises it up to 3,400. Tom Dwan with the ace
Raise to
king.
10,000.
And he is
Pass, pass.
re-raising here. He wants to play big pot poker.
I think he's also isolating the possibly tilting Frenchman.
To 12,000.
I thought it was the Scottish that were tilting.
Cool.
And there's the call. And the flop comes out some sort of ace-jack blank. We could see fireworks.
We
Here's
might
the flop.
We might see fireworks
Flop is
anyway.
10. Deuce.
Well, 10-7 deuce. Not much there for either player. Mooley
Check.
with a gut shot straight draw. Tom Dwan still the best of it with ace-king. About a 3-2 favorite to win this one. He's going to check it.
I don't blame him. He knows Mooley's capable of
Deuce.
making a play at this pot.
Well, the deuce of hearts on the turn doesn't look to change anything.
Well, now if he checks, it's different.
Mooley now only a 23% chance of winning this pot, unless he can get Dwan to fold.
21. Got 21,000.
And he bets 21,000.
It'll be interesting to see if Tom Dwan folds, calls, or raises. I wouldn't be surprised if he folded or raised. I'd be surprised if he just flat called.
I gotta be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if anything happened there. I think he's gonna call. There it is. I was about to say I didn't want to say anything, but it wouldn't have surprised me to have a flat call there. I've seen Tom Dwan call down with king high, and it was right. I've seen him call down with ace high, and he'd be right. And I gotta tell you,
6.
And a blank on the river. Actually puts 3 hearts on the board. Could slow the action down.
it wouldn't shock me at all if Mooley bet big here and Dwan called with ace king. Let's see what happens. 67,000 in the pot. Action is on Mooley.
I think that's about what Mooley's got left in front of him. Maybe a little less.
Well, I see 2 black chips. There's a 50,000. I'm telling you, he's going to bet. I think Dwan's calling.
I think he's going to bet for sure. It's just a matter whether Tom Dwan's going to make this tough call.
Bet 58,000.
Especially with a heart on the river.
Yes.
Very tough call for Durr.
Oh, and Dwan throws it away. I was sure Dwan was going to call that. I was sure Dwan was going to call.
And Mooley with a lesson in power poker against Durr. I mean, this is not the easiest guy in the world to bluff, you know.
No, not at all. Tom Dwan, I mean, I tell you, I've seen him make huge, huge calls with less than that. It wouldn't have surprised me at all if Tom Dwan made that call.
I think if it came a more of a blank card, you're right, he might have called. But 6 of hearts puts the straight out there and a flush. Tough call for anybody, much less Tom Dwan.
Hi, I'm Tom Dwan. I'm 23 and I play poker. I grew up in Edison, New Jersey, and now I live in some combination of Boston, Vegas, San Diego, wherever the big poker games are, wherever some nice beaches or some fun times to be had. To be winning at high stakes poker, you need to be constantly adapting. So obviously a year later from any given game, if you're a winning high stakes player, you should be playing better. You should be more experienced. I would say I'm playing a little better. I'm a little more experienced than last year, but the difference is marginal in my opinion. Hopefully the results will be better, but we'll see. Obviously in any one session there's a lot of luck, and hopefully it'll be on my side.
Well, this is poker.
This is power poker, that's
I mean,
for
if this
sure.
doesn't get you excited, check your pulse.
Tom Dwan has decided to make the big blind, which is the straddle as we know it, a regular part of this game. He's straddling again.
Well, Tom Dwan down almost $200,000. He's going to do everything he possibly can to try to get his money back and then some.
I think if he was up 200,000, he'd be straddling right here, to be honest with you.
Well, he's in a great spot. He's got position on Mooley.
It's just bad for your health and stuff too.
I think he likes that spot in this game.
And Mike Matusow playing right behind him, pretty tight.
I don't like the stuff.
3,800 total. Call.
I've never done it.
Well, $3,800 raise from Patrick Antonius.
Flop is 8.
A call
King.
from Tom Dwan.
Ace.
And
Check.
both a very interesting flop. Tom Dwan with top pair, jack kicker. Patrick Antonius with second pair, backdoor club draw. It goes check, check.
Ace.
Wow.
Ah.
Ace of diamonds on the turn. Now Patrick Antonius cannot win this pot, but that second ace on the board might make him think his pair of kings is good.
I agree with that. No, it doesn't even give it a value bet. I'm surprised. Dirt's just about guaranteed to bet here. He's got to bet about six or 7,000.
Check.
Antonius trying to decide whether to value bet this.
Bet 4,500.
Tom Dwan checked all three streets. And yes, the cards are correct. The flop and the board is correct. And when Tom Dwan check raises this, can Antonius get away from it?
Absolutely. If he makes it a real small raise, he might get paid off, but that's the only way. I don't think Antonius can pay us off.
I just want to remind our viewers that deuce on the river is irrelevant. Antonius with aces and kings and an 8 kicker. Tom Dwan with trip aces, king jack.
I think he's trying to decide how much to re-raise, how much he can get paid off for. I think the most he could get paid off was maybe a $10,000 raise.
Raise. Okay, you got 26,300 more.
And he raises it 26,300 more.
Another over-raise. That must be the new fad in this game.
It's an additional 26,300 for Antonius to call. The pot is 44,300.
And the big key to this hand is Tom Dwan has feigned weakness the entire hand. Flat called, checked, and now check raised the river. A very inconsistent story. It might be hard for Antonius to get away from this hand.
Well, these guys have some history. I mean, Tom Dwan and Patrick Antonius, they have played for countless hours, online and live. I mean, you start talking about Tom Dwan, such a creative player, so unconventional.
In every sense of the word.
I mean, this could be a bluff, this could be trip aces, this could be a full house.
Yeah, I got a feeling he's going to get paid off here.
I don't know, we'll see. I'm not convinced. Patrick Antonius, he seems to just sniff these ones out.
I think Tom Dwan played this so confusing, I think he's going to get paid off.
Well, anyway, he cut it 26,300.
If he doesn't get paid off, I'll tell you right now, it's because of the Jack-9 where he moved all in with Mooley. That only thing that might be going through Patrick Antonius' mind with the over-raise. Neither one of these players want to lose a pot to the other one. Have you noticed that? They're especially competitive when they're against each other. Patrick Antonius and Tom Dwan.
One thing I've noticed about Patrick Antonius, though, it seems like, I mean, he's such a great poker player, and I've gained more and more respect from him as I watch these $1 Million Cash games. He's been in it for the last couple of seasons, and his game is so good. He seems to leave his ego at the door.
I think right now, he's thinking, I can only beat a bluff. Did Tom Dwan put this bet out there on a spade draw that got busted? A busted flush draw? I think that's the only hand he thinks he can really beat.
Oh, Patrick Antonius calls. It's a crying call. He hates it.
I was pretty sure he was going to pay him off. It felt like it.
You called it. You called it. And Tom Dwan, 2 big payoffs in a row. And Tom Dwan starting to get healthy.
Welcome back. The guys have had a quick break. We're ready to go again, so we'll head you straight up to the guys in the commentary box.
Pass.
And this table has gotten somewhat crazy. I mean, we've got Tom Dwan and Mooley playing quite crazy. Patrick Antonius between them. And then, of course, we've got Andrew Feldman and Mike Matisow. the mouth, playing it somewhat more conservatively.
Yeah, I think they're both waiting for a real hand to get involved.
Raise 2,100.
Are they going to get paid off with a real hand?
You wouldn't think so, but Mike Matasso did a while ago.
Pass. Call. Call. Flop is
Here's the flop.
7.
7-7-4, couple of hearts out there. Tom Dwan, open-ended.
Check.
The best of it right now is queen high.
Check.
But if Tom Dwan puts some heat on that board, he could take it down.
They've checked to the position player Patrick Antonius, who just about guaranteed to lead at
Bet
this.
6,000.
Leads almost a pot-sized bet.
Pass.
Yeah, Antonius bet 6,000. Mooley going to get out of the way. And Tom Dwan, $6,000 to him. He's going to check call.
Now, 8 on the turn might be an interesting card, especially if it's not of the heart variety.
Pot now $18,800.
Three.
Well, 3 gets the job done. Tom Dwan has hit his straight. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 has the 7 high straight. Patrick Antonius cannot win this pot unless he gets Tom Dwan to fold.
Patrick Antonius has been playing this pretty close to the vest. He swung at it once. I have a feeling he's going to go ahead and just let this one slide, wait for a free card on the river. Well, then again, what do I know? He's reaching for chips.
Oh, yeah, he's got a black chip in his hand. That's a $25,000 chip, just to refresh your memory. The black chips are $25,000, the red ones are $1,000. The blues are $500, and the purples are $100.
Maybe that last hand is weighing a little bit on Antonius, and he wants to get some of that money back.
12,000. 12,000 a bet.
12,000 bet by Patrick Antonius.
Yeah, he bets 2/3 the pot here, 12,000.
Well, no question. I can't see Tom Dwan calling here. Now with a flush draw on the board, I would be surprised if he did just call. I think he's going to raise in case he gets lucky and Patrick Antonius
Call.
has a 7. No, he doesn't listen to me. Wow.
The only thing I can tell you about Tom Dwan, think of whatever you think he might do, and then just go the complete opposite, because that's Tom Dwan.
So far, that's been pretty accurate.
Well, it's one of the reasons why he's really tough to play against.
Now, this could be a problem for Durr. That's the problem with not raising on the turn. Now the double pair on the board.
Check.
Patrick Antonius swings one more time, especially if he swings a bigger bet. 30,000 would be exactly what I would bet. 3/4 of the pot. Looks like you want to call her, but not over betting it.
I'm telling you right now, there's no way in a million years Dwan is folding this hand.
You say that. Patrick Antonius has represented a 7 the entire way.
No chance. And it goes check, check. And you know what? Antonius knows it as well. No matter what Antonius bets there, Tom Dwan is calling. No chance, I'm telling you.
I don't know.
Well, we'll never know.
We'll never know is a fact.
Tom Dwan, though, one thing I do know, Tom Dwan is on a rush right now. He's won a couple of big pots, and he's now up to about $350,000 in front of him. Still down a significant lot, but before he was down about $350,000. He has made back $200,000. A lot of work to do if he wants to break even.
Nice recovery.
Last time we spoke to Mike, you were suffering from a lack of cards. Have things changed at all for you?
Well, I'm still suffering from a lack of cards. I just happened to pick up one hand. And no limit hold them, all it takes is one hand.
You mentioned how pleased you were with the control that you've displayed at the table.
Yeah.
I mean, how chuffed are you with the way it's been going?
When I'm playing great, which I think I play great this whole day, I keep my patience. I don't let like when they start gambling, straddling, and raising, I don't let it get to them to try and outplay them. Even when I went 3.5 hours without a playable hand, I never just folded and folded and folded. And then when you look up and you say, I played one hand in 3 hours and I've won 100,000. And you feel like you've been rewarded. You feel pretty good about it.
It's the FullTiltPoker.net $1 million cash game. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at that. The big blind and the blinds have moved up here. 500, 1,000 now. An ante of 200. The price of poker has gone up.
As if they weren't playing high enough already.
Well, I don't think they were playing high enough.
Pass.
Evidently not.
I think if you're Patrick Antonius and you're Tom Dwan, you love it. How is this going to affect the table? Mike Mattisau, we've lost.
Raise to 4,000.
He's up about $100,000.
Call.
King Queen for Mooley. Tom Dwan with
Call.
Queen Deuce of Hearts. He's going to call this. Patrick Antonius in there with a King 6.
I think Tom Dwan's going to play a wide variety of hands the higher
Deuce,
we play.
10. Check.
Well, he's outflopped everybody. He's got 2 pair.
Check.
10s and deuces.
Seldom loses.
Pot is $12,800.
Queen.
He's an overwhelming favorite to win this hand. Well,
Well, not anymore.
not anymore. And it's interesting. He's actually made 3 pair, but 3 pair don't play. It's your best 5-card hand. And Mooley has now taken the lead. He has queens and 10s with a king kicker. Tom Dwan with queens and 10s and a 2 kicker. Patrick Antonius is pretty much completely out of this hand. Mooley bet $7,000.
It's funny. He keeps underbetting certain pots now that he used to overbet every pot. It might be confusing to some of the players out there.
Call.
Well, you get a call
Pass.
from Tom Dwan.
Yeah, it's tough
Pot
to lay
now.
down top pair for sure.
Tom Dwan now with 26. The pot now $26,800.
He needs a deuce on the river or a queen.
And this is going to be chopped up here. Both players the full house. Queen's full of 10s.
Wouldn't be surprised at all, though, if
Check.
Durr checks to him. And he does.
Well, we're going to see a check raise here. I mean, this is pretty obvious where it's going. Now, at the table, it's going to seem quite exciting. For everybody at home and for us, we know what's going to happen here. There's going to be a bet. There's going to be a check raise. There's going to be an all-in. All the money's going to go in. They're going to chop it up. It's going to be like kissing your sister.
I told you about that. I'm from Texas, not Arkansas. Hear you.
Pot is $51,800. And there's the raise.
It's 28,000 more.
And it's 28,000 more back to Mooley.
Looking for a call. What bet can Mooley make, or what raise can he make, and get Dwan to call with a less hand? That's
Well,
what
I don't
Mooley's
think.
thinking
Well, I
about.
got to be honest with you. At this point, if I'm Mooley, I do not re-raise because I go. I actually don't have the nuts. My opponent could have pocket 10s,
Cool.
and he's going to call. They're going to chop it up.
Well, it was exciting to play a $280,000 pot, $279.
This is the $1 million cash game, and this is truly one of the biggest games in televised history. The blinds are 500, 1,000, a running ante of $200. We're playing four-handed right now.
None of the full tilt guys can.
Mooley with the
4,000.
ace, king of spades.
We can't.
And he raises it up to 4,000.
We can't.
And
Tom
looky,
Dwan with
looky.
ace king. And he looks like he's going to re-raise this.
Can't say that I blame him.
And he does re-raise
I
it.
don't think so. 'Cause full tilt not sponsored.
What's interesting is they may have the same hand,
14,500
but this one
total.
might not go down that way.
Extra 10,500 more.
And it's 10,500 more. Back to Mooley.
I think we're going to see a re-raise by Mooley here.
Raise. 50,000 more. Re-raise. Call.
And it's all in. Ace king against ace king. Tom
Well-
Dwan looking for hearts or clubs. Mooley looking for the spades.
And actually, Mooley, a slight favorite with two of the same suit.
I thought there was a chance that was what was happening. Well, when you said ace queen, I know you never have any hand other than ace king or ace queen.
There is some suspense here. We could see some suits here. Pot is $280,000.
5-9.
This one's
And-
going to be chopped.
Well, Mooley's still drawing.
He said a free roll.
Oh, pardon me, spade.
Yeah, well,
I
not
stand
anymore.
Corrected.
3 of clubs on the turn. And a 4 of hearts. Irrelevant 4 of hearts on the river, and they're going to chop it up once again. Take your money back.
2 times in $280,000 pots back to back, and they split it. You don't see that every day.
Okay.
4 players, $1 million cash game. Button in front of Patrick Antonius. Blind still 500, 1,000 with a $200 running ante. And action is on Tom Dwan. He's not going to play. Patrick Antonius on the button. Queen 9 offsuit.
Raise to 4,000.
Well, he's in a great spot. He can raise this. He knows that Feldman's not going to call or re-raise
Pass.
with very many hands. And he knows that Mooley is,
Cool.
but he's in position against the player who he thinks he's better than.
It's definitely a great spot for Patrick Antonius to raise. Absolutely agreed.
Jack.
Well, both players
Six,
miss.
8.
Jack 8-6. Both players have the same hand.
Check.
The wild card factor here, though, is Mooley's capable of check raising with air, but I still think we're going to see a lead by Patrick Antonius the majority of the time.
Bet. 7,000.
Yeah, both players have the gut shot. 10 would give each of them a straight. Mooley actually kind of free rolling here. He can catch diamonds as well.
Cool.
I said if I could play poker from the commentary booth, I'd never lose.
We call that Monday morning quarterback.
King.
Well, King of Spades doesn't change much. But you
Puts
get it.
another overcard. Now they don't have an overcard to the board.
Good
so
point.
A little scary.
Mooley checks. Antonius thinking about what to do. Pot is 23,300. The amazing thing is you look at this pot size. The pot is $23,000, and neither player has a pair.
Well, I think part of the deal is here Patrick Antonius is going to bet.
15.
Bet 15,000.
He had to bet because if he doesn't, if he checks, Mooley bets the river, takes the pot down. He was forced to bet in that spot, I believe.
Well, Patrick Antonius bets 15,000.
And the power position comes through once again.
Well, it says a lot when two players have the same exact hand, yet one of them can win the pot. Patrick Antonius showing us why he's one of the best in the game.
I'm Patrick Antonius, one of the biggest cash game players in the world. There are a lot of players that they have problems in other fields, selecting good games and money management problems. It takes a lot of conditioning. You have to be mentally in good shape because just the one kind of tired moment can cost you so much money. So you have to always be fresh when you play because there's really not room for any mistakes. It's not really how great you play some sessions. It's if you have bad sessions. So always give your A game and you'll be fine.
Buttons in front of Feldman. Big blind, Tom Dwan. Patrick Antonius first to act. And it might seem weird playing four-handed, but to me this is what poker's all about. It's less about the hands, it's more about playing your opponent.
Position and opponents. That's what it's all about right now.
Pass. Pass.
And if you look, a lot of the online games now, 6 max, no limit games. You gotta love this. Four-handed,
And
deep stacked.
And four of the best in the world. Right here in this one table.
Would you say 4 of the best in the world? Really?
I'd say at least 2 of the best in the world.
Okay, there you go.
3,
5, 5, 3, couple of hearts out
5.
there.
Check.
2 people flopping. Oh, actually, Durr flopping a gut shot. Patrick Antonius with overcards to the board.
Yeah, I think 2 of the best in the
6,000.
world in this pot. Patrick Antonius going to bet it. $6,000 bet from Antonius. Pot is 15,300.
We could see a wide range of things here. We could see a call. We could see a raise. We could see a fold. I don't think the fold is what we're going to see, though. Not with a gut shot.
Cool.
He's going to call. Pot is now $21,300.
10.
10 of clubs on the turn. Couple of hearts out there. Couple of clubs out there. Dwan is going to check it. Does Patrick Antonius want to fire one more time? Nope, he's going to see a free card. Let's see the river.
4.
The river's the 4. Tom Dwan did not hit his gut shot straight draw,
Check.
but he did hit a pair of 4s. And he's got the best hand with 5s and 4s, and he's going to show it. $21,000 heads over to Durr.
Pass.
Mulligan get out of the way. Action on Tom Dwan on the button.
You know, one thing I have
He's
noticed.
going to pass. Patrick Antonius in the small blind.
Call.
And he's going to call this with the ace-10 offsuit.
Playing a little deceptively.
Well, Jack 4 suited. Well, Andrew Feldman going to see if he can take this one away.
3,500 more.
You and I both know that's not going to work.
Cool.
Patrick Antonius calls. The glasses go on, and we'll see a flop.
Flop is king, 9, queen.
Interesting flop.
It really is. Patrick Antonius has a gut shot to Broadway. He also has the ace of clubs in his hand. Feldman, though, has the gut shot straight draw as well as the flush draw. It's nearly a coin flip if it goes to showdown.
Good bet. 6,500.
And he bets about 65% of the pot. Strong bet. That's
I'll be
Feldman.
Surprised if we don't see at least a call here by Antonius.
Call.
And he is going to call. Pot now $22,800. And here's the turn.
6.
6 of diamonds. And that's a complete blank.
Check.
Check.
Patrick Antonius still in the lead with ace high.
We might see a Feldman check this time around. I don't know that he wants to get this pot too big. If he bets it, he might take it, though.
If only he knew what Antonius had.
18.
Well, he's going to fire one more time.
18,000.
And you know what?
Pass.
His image is what won him the pot there.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
It's a nice bet by Andrew Feldman. $18,000 bet on the turn, and he is going to win that pot. Andrew Feldman, by the way, pretty much even on the day. And these are just some of the players that played today in the $1 Million Cash Game during Season 4. Patrick Antonius is on top of the leaderboard. He's up $150,000. Mike Matisow, who has left the game, was up $104,000. And here are the bevy of losers in the game. Andrew Feldman, virtually even, down a little bit. Alan Cunningham down $193,000. Tom Dwan down $133,000.
But on the comeback, because he was down $350 just a little while ago.